Adapted from a version edited by Thomas Bailey Aldrich, illustrated by Timothy Chulman. Old King Hrothgar built for himself a great maid called Harold, covered with gold. It was bigger than any horn man had ever heard of, and there Hrothgar sat on his throne, sharing with the man good things God had given him. A band of brave things gathered around him, all living together in peace and joy. But there came a wicked monster, grand out of the moss. He stole across the fence in the thick darkness, and touched the great iron ball of the hall, which immediately sprang open. Then Grendel spied the thing sleeping after the battle, with his steel fingernail. The hideous fiend seized 30 of them in his sleep. He gave chills of joy and spread as quick as a lightning across the moss to reach its home with his prey. When the remaining things awoke, they raised a great cry of sorrow. The wits of his age himself sat speechless with grief. None could do battle with the monster. It was too strong, too horrible for anyone to conquer. For 12 long years, Grendel war against Warcraft, like a dark shadow of death. He prowled round on the hall and lay in wait for Warcraft men on the misty moors. Now there lived a fourth young warrior called Beowulf, who had the strength of 30 men. He heard of the good deeds of the Grendel and sorrow of the good king Hrothgar. He also made it to strong ship and with 14 friends set to visit Hrothgar as he was in need of help. The good ship flew over the swirling ocean like a bird, till the voyagers saw shining white cliffs before them. Then they knew the journey was at end. They made their fast ship grant the weapons, set out for Heriot. Now a guard on the coast of the spied them from the tower. He set off the shore, riding on horseback. "Who owns you?" he cried, bearing arms and openly landing here. "I am bound to know from whence you come before you make a step forward." Beowulf made an answer as they came from France to rid Hodor of his quick enemy Grendel, and the court led them to the king's hall. Beowulf's men marched along, following the stone street to the hall, their armor shining in the sun and glinting as they went. They reached Heriot, where they set down their broad shields and made themselves known to the herald. Olaf speedily bade them welcome. They entered the great hall with major tread, Beowulf leading the way. "Hail, King," he said, "to fight against Grendel have I come. Grant me this, and this my task alone. I and my little band of men know what the terrible monster despises weapon, and therefore I shall bear neither sword, nor shield, nor buckler. Hand to hand I will fight with foe. Death shall come whoever God will." Hrothgar loved the youth for his noble words, and bade him and the men sit down to a table, and merrily share their feast. As they feasted, Scott sang with a clear voice. The queen in cloth of gold moved down the hall and handed the jewel cup to the men of the king, and the warrior, old and young. At the right moment, with gracious words, she brought it to Beowulf, full of pride and high purpose. The youth drank from the splendid cup, and vowed that he would conquer the enemy or die. He roared, and the hall resounded with his yells up and down as he raged. With Beowulf holding him in fast arms, tall branches were overturned, the timber of the hall cracked, the beautiful hall all but drank. Beowulf men had seized their weapons and fought back to back, grandeur on every side, but no blade could touch him. Still Beowulf held by his arm. The fire soldiers sped apart, and he fled wounded to death, leaving a hand up in the shoulder of Beowulf's grasp. Over the moor into the darkness, he sped at the best might, and Beowulf was the victory. Then in the next morning, many a warrior came from far and near, riding in troops. They tracked the monster path where he had fled, stricken up death. In a disciple, he had judged his life, racing the horses over the grand top. They reached Helgard. The golden roof of the hall glittered in the sunlight. The king stood on terrace. "I have much room," he said, "but this we will, with all wisdom, could not do now. Now I will heartily love you, for nothing in this world, and your fame shall live forever." The hall was clean. The house new with gold, a cloth of gold. The roof made fair and straight, only for the roof had been left altogether unhurt for the fight. Merry feast was held. The king brought forth out of his treasures a banner, helmet, and mailed them well, but more wonderful than all for famous handed down to him through the ages. To each of Beowulf's men he gave rich profit to the scarce sang. The queen, beautiful and gracious, before the cup to the king and Beowulf. To Beowulf she to give mantle and bracelet and collar of gold. "Use this gift," she said, "and prosper well, as far as the sea roar. Your name shall be known. Great of the joy of eating cup." Then the hall was cleared of benches and strands with beds. Beowulf left the king and had his own room at night to sleep in. The nobles lay down in the hall. At their head they set shield and blades, ready helmet, and other mail coats. Each slept, ready in instant to do battle for his lord. So they sank to rest, little dreaming what sorrow was to fall on them. The hall was clean. The walls hung a new cloth of his gold, a whole place made fair and straight, only for the roof had been left altogether unhurt after the fight. A merry wait me a minute. A merry was held. The king brought forth out of his treasure a banner, helmet, and mail coat. He gave this to Beowulf, bidding him enjoy them well. But more wonderful than all was a famous sword handed down to him through the ages, to which Beowulf men he gave rich feast. The scat sang, I read this already. Grendel the monster was dead, but Grendel's mother still lives. Furious at the death of her son, she crept to the great hall, made her way in, clutched an owl, the king's dearest friend, and crushed him in his sleep. Great was the uproar. The brain rapped, sword in his hand. The tall dame hurried to escape, wanting to get out with her life. The aged king felt bitter grief when his dearest friend was slain. He sent for Beowulf. "We have fresh grief this morning," says the sorry king. "My dearest friend and the noblest friend is slain. Grendel and slew yourself, but another monster come to avenge his death. I've heard the country folk say that there were two huge fights to be talking over the moor, one like a woman as near they could make out, the other had from a man, but it was huge of all, broad and weak, a waterfall black to the blackness elbow, and unearthly fire is gleaming there night after night. None can tell the depth of the stream. You or only hell dare to enter this horrible haunt? Quick, was Beowulf's answer. Sorrow not. O kings, do just sail quickly and look for death, and he who had the chances should go the mighty needs before it comes. I promise you, Gretel's king shall not escape me, if she hide in the depth of the earth or the ocean. The king sprang up gladly. Beowulf and his friends set out. They passed stone banks and narrow gullies, the haunt of goblins. Suddenly they saw a clump of gloomy trees overhanging the deadly pool. A shoulder ran through them. The pool was blood red. The water there was melting sea snakes. One of Beowulf's men took an aim at the monster with his arrow and piercing through also. Then he swam no more. Beowulf was making ready for the fight. He covered his body with armor lest the fence should crush him. On his head was a white helmet decorated with figures of boars worked in silver. No weapon could hurt it. His sword was a wonderful treasure with an edge of iron. It had never failed anyone who needed it in battle. Be like a father to my men, if I perish, said Beowulf to Hrothgar, and send the rich gift you had given to me to my king. We'll see that I had good fortune while life lasted. Either I win fame or death shall take me. He dashed away, plunging headlong into the pool. It took nearly the whole day before he spied Grendel's mother met him. For 100 years she had lived in those depths. She made a grab him and caught him in the talon, but his coat of mail saved him from her loathsome fingers. Still to the bottom of the lake, he had no power to use his weapon, although he had courage enough. Then he saw that he was in a vast hall, where there was no water but a strange unearthly glow of firelight. At once the fight began, but the sword is master in his need. For the first time its flame broke down. Away Beowulf threw it in danger, trusting to the strength of his hand. He seized the monster by the shoulder and brought her down. Quickly he staggered and fell. One she pinned him and drew her knife to take his life, but good Milcote turned the point. He stood up again, and then truly God help him, for he saw among the on the wall and all of a huge size, the handiwork of giants. He had seized it and smote with all his might, so that the children gave up her life. His heart was full of gladness. Light, calm, and beautiful as one of the sun, filled the hall. He scanned the vast chamber and found Grendel lying there dead. He cut off his beard as a trophy for King Hrothgar, whose men the fiend had killed and devoured. Now the man was seated on the bank of the pool, watching with the helpless saw that the water was tingled with blood. Then the old men spoke together of the brave Beowulf, saying they feared they would never see him again. The day was waning fast, so they and the king went homeward. Beowulf's men stayed on, sick at heart, gazing at the pool. They longed but did not expect to see the leader. Under the death, Beowulf making his way to them. The magnetic sword melted in his hand like snowy sunshine, only that the hilt remained. So venomous was the find that he had been slain therewith. He brought nothing more with him than the hilt and Grendel's head. Up he rose through the water, so he came to land. His men saw him. They thanked God he ran to free of his armor. They rejected to get they rejoiced to get sight of him, sound and whole. Now they marched gladly to the town. It took 4 of them to carry Grendel's head. On Grendel, all 14, the captain glorious in meals. They entered the great hall, startling the king and queen with the fearful sight of Grendel's head as they sat their meat. Beowulf handed the magic hilt to Hrothgar, who saw that it was the work of giants of old. He spoke to Beowulf, while all held their peace, praised him for his courage, said that he would love him at his side, and bade him he help to mankind. Many, many treasures, he said, were spread down from me to you tomorrow, but now rest and feed. Gladly Beowulf sat and banquet, and well like the thought of the rest. When they docked, he bade the king farewell with noble words, promising to help him in the time of his need. Hrothgar with tears and embrace let him go, giving fresh food of wild jewel. He wept, he loved Beowulf and knew he would never see him any more. The god of the coast saw the Gaulian warriors coming, bade welcome and led them to the ship. The wind whistled in the sail, and pleasant hunting sound was her way. So Beowulf had returned home, having done mighty death and gained great honor. Its men crept away to the woods to save their life. One and only, Wiglaf by the name, spared through the smoke and flame to help his lord. My lord Beowulf, he cried, with all your might defend your life. I will support you to the utmost. The dragon came on fiercely in a moment. The flame consumed Wiglaf's shield, but nothing daunted. He stepped under the shelter of Beowulf, and his own fell ashes about him. He smote with his sword such a force that it stuck in the monster's head, but splinters flew all around. Now for the first time the dragon rushed upon him, and seized him by the neck with his poisonous fang. Wiglaf, no blood for himself, rushed toward, though he was scorched with the flames, smote the dragon lower down by Beowulf had done. His sword entered the dragon's body, and from that moment the fire began to case. The king, recovering his senses, drew his knife and ended the monster's life. So these two together destroyed the enemy of the people. To Beowulf, that was the greatest moment of his life. When he saw his work completed, the wounds say that the dragon had given him began to burn and well, for the poison had entered it. He knew that he would his days told. Wiglaf with tender care unloosed his helmet and brought him water. Beowulf discussing, while I have ruled this book for 50 years, no king has dared attack them. I have held my own with justice, and no friend has lost life through me. Though I am sick deadly wounds, I have comfort in this. Now go quickly, beloved. Wiglaf, show me ancient wealth, and I have won for my people the gold and brilliant gems that I may continually give up my life.